Okay, so hello, my name is Juan Eraso, and I'm gonna be presenting the hypo issue in Colombia. So, in this slide, we have this sentence that said how Pablo Escobar changed an ecosystem. So, today I would like to talk about a very unusual environmental problem that happened in Colombia. Many people don't know that Colombia has wild hippos. It sounds a little bit strange because hippos belong to Africa, but today they have become an important environmental issue. In these presentations, I'll explain how this happened, why it's a problem, and what I think it could be a good solution. So we have to the next slide that explain how this story begins in the 1890s. Pablo Escobar built a private zoo at Hacienda Nápoles and imported many exotic animals from different countries. Among them were four hippos from Africa. After Escobar died, most animals were moved, but the hippos stayed because moving them was too difficult and expensive. In the next slide, we have an image of how that shows how this animal has increased over the years. So, over the years, those four hippos started reproducing very quickly. Colombia has a warm climate and almost no natural predators, so the animals adapted very well to these environments. And today, there are more hippos, and scientists believe the population will continue growing if nothing changes. So we have the next slide, and I would like to introduce this situation because it generates many problems. Because first, the hippos are extremely dangerous animals and they can attack people or boats. Second, they affect rivers because they leave large amount of waste in the water. And finally, they compete with native species and change the ecosystem. So that is the reason why many scientists are worried. In this case, we have an image that shows the disparity of these opinions, which this slide have benefits and problems that I'm gonna talk about in this instance. So, however, not everyone agrees about what should happen. Some scientists think hippos may have positive effects because they can play a role similar to extinct the megafauna. On the other hand, many experts believe they are an invasive species that should be controlled to protect Colombia biodiversity, which is the most important thing in this country. Okay, so in this case, we have a possible solution. I choose three, which I think there are, which I think this is the most important solutions. In my opinion, killing and all the hippos should be the first option. I think sterilization is a better long term solution because it controls the population without harming the animals. Some hippos could also be relocated to zoos or wildlife parks. At the same time, scientists should continue monitoring the rivers and studying the environmental impact. In this slide, I like to show my opinion about this problematic. So personally, I think this is a very difficult situation because there is no perfect solution. As you know, the hippos are not responsible for being in Colombia. Humans brought them here. At the same time, protecting native ecosystems should always be the priority. For that reason, I support controlling the population